Once again, ladies and gentlemen, as I've always promised you, and I'm going to keep my promise because I'm built that way, whether I like you or not, I'm going to keep my promise to you. But I keep bringing you the best of the best, and I'm never going to stop doing that. Tonight is no different from any other night, except we got a little twist to it. The twist is we're not dealing with a hip-hop artist. We're not dealing with an R&B artist. We're not dealing with a now promoter.
Yeah.
We are dealing with somebody who is taking a whole different path, a path that, as far as I would say, is, I won't say odd, but different. And we're now dealing with the ever popular entrepreneurial spirit thing that's going on here. Tonight, what I bring to you is entrepreneur great idealist, super think out of the box person, real humble, the guy who was always getting the time slot before I get my hair cut. Tonight I bring you Trayce of something that is unique, definitely needed. We are talking about the Impound comic. I don't want to say stores, the store, shop.
We have a store.
Like,
so we have a store. It's Impound Universe.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Kind of like it would be like if it was like the Marvel Universe.
Impound. I said I fucked that up, didn't I?
No, you said it right. You said
right?
Impound Comics, but and that's right, 100% right.
Okay, making sure.
But that you know, when we started with books, and that's like the pavement of what we're doing. But we moved into like animation. We moved into like the game world. So now we're kind of becoming more of a universe beyond just the books.
Okay.
But Impound Comics is the company's brand. Absolutely.
Now, when you say books, are you talking about the comics, or are you talking about like small library type?
Comic books. Yeah, comic books.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm making a novel too. You know, there's gonna be more than just comic books. That was the most accessible way to start it.
Okay.
You know, but it is more than it will be more than just comic books on the reading aspect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and take this all the way back.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, I see that, man. Boy, Instagram a cold piece of work. Doing me foul all the time. Let me get this right back. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so from my understanding, well, let's go even further back. Have you always been like interested in comics?
Yeah, not necessarily the books, but like the worlds, the worlds around the characters, like the games. You know what I mean? The movies, the cartoons. I wasn't so into the books themselves, more just, you know, in general.
Right.
You know, stuff like that.
Sorry, reach over here.
Oh, good.
Okay, so even younger, you've always been into the comics.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a youngster in the comic world, who was your favorite character?
I didn't have a favorite character for a while, I felt like, but eventually it became Hulk, and then it also was Spawn. My favorite characters weren't. My favorite characters when I was a kid was the Ninja Turtles. So they have comics, but it's not as comic book characters like a Marvel.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they do have comic books.
Okay.
But the Ninja Turtles was the first thing I was into, and then that turned into the Power Rangers, and then it was like Hulk, Spawn. Then I was into like, you know, anime.
Okay.
You know, so it was like the Pokemon,
Anime
Dragon Ball
is
Z.
huge right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like the Dragon Ball Z Pokemon wave, you know.
Okay.
And then from there, I was still a fan of like the cinematic side, but I wasn't a diehard or I felt like I think at some point you feel like you outgrew that, or that was for kids.
Okay.
And then when I got even older, I started realizing, I'm still rocking.
Right.
And kind of double back on it, you know. So I think that's just the culture, especially maybe like in SAC, you don't you get into sports, start looking at chicks, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
that
culture
happens.
of that kind of pushes you out of that
Right,
world, but then
right.
you know, I'm still a fan of it though. You know,
Okay,
so
okay. Now, so going from being a comic book junkie
yeah,
to going through maturity,
yeah.
kind of weaning off the comic books, starting, you know, the
Yeah.
females and the voices dropping and all
Yeah.
that shit. You became a club promoter.
Yeah,
How long did you do that for?
about a decade.
Okay,
You
so
know, like a straight decade. I would say I started when I was 20, when I was just doing 18 and up. I started just you know, warehouse parties. You know, I was
Okay,
at
yeah,
Sac State,
yeah.
and I really only did it because I just felt like there wasn't a lot of parties. And then, you know, I put out my calculator, started adding up. You charge 10 people, and then that's what got me started. And then it wasn't supposed to be like a career.
Mhm.
You know, it was just something I was doing in college. And after college, it's like I'm still making money doing it. Why would you stop?
Man, if it ain't broke,
Yeah,
don't try to fix
yeah.
it. I get it.
And I quit a couple times, and I just came back. You know, in 6 months.
It calls you back.
Yeah.
Everybody takes that little break, like, man, I'm tired of dealing with this shit.
Yeah.
You take off a little bit of time, you're like, that money was good.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the partners talk to you like, hey, man, I'm throwing this party. You want to just get in on this one?
Yeah.
And you back in the groove.
Yeah, and then if you still going out and you're not promoting, you just spending money and not making it, you just like,
Why am I here?
Yeah, yeah.
Why am I here?
Yeah.
Everybody in here is a dollar sign, and I'm spending
Right,
money.
and I'm spending the money.
This
That
ain't
make
cool.
no sense.
Okay, so you did that. Now, how did you come up with the idea of being able to say, I want to start my own comic brand?
It wasn't on something that I was planning. It was a thing that it just fell in my lap almost. Where I was always writing books. I was always writing movie scripts or novels, more so movie scripts.
Okay.
And then not knowing how to get it picked up or adapted. And then I had read somewhere that a movie script is similar to writing a comic book. And then in 2018, when I saw Black Panther, that's when I was like, I'm gonna make a comic book. That was like my first, like, that's what I want to try to do, is make a comic book character. And then I thought of the character in Impound, got him illustrated. And then I still wasn't trying. It was just like in my spare time, like writing was. Like I only wrote when I was inspired. I wasn't really trying to become something. It would have been nice, but it wasn't a focus.
Okay.
And then so I wrote it, and then the pandemic hit, and then I just had more time.
A lot of time.
Yeah, and then I finished the book finally, and then I put it out, and it just was doing well. It was well received, and then I just kept going, you know. And then one thing led to another. Doko ended up offering me a store.
Now,
It was
how did
their
that happen?
idea.
Because I've heard you say that before. How did you come up with? How did you even come up with the know-how to even contact Doko to even?
So I didn't ask him about no store. So I did my pop-up at Get a Clue. Get a Clue was in Doko.
Right.
So when I did that, they seen it, and then there was like a vendor event in Doko. I think it was Fly Market. Yeah, it was Fly Market, and I was just a vendor,
Okay.
and the lady who runs it saw us and was like, "Oh, this is cool and stuff." And then I just went to Get a Clue, and I was like, "How much is like the carts in the middle, like in the middle of the mall?"
The little kiosk.
Yeah, kiosks. And it was like, just ask there. And I was like, that's a door right there to go to the office. And I went and asked her, sent her an email, all my stuff. And then when they finally reached back out, probably like 2 months later, they offered me a store.
Ooh.
So basically, I wasn't trying to get in a store. I was just really inquiring about a kiosk. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do that. But when they hit me back, there was a guy I still have never met till this day, called me, who works for CBRE, who manages Doko.
Okay.
And he was just like, man, I was looking at your stuff. He was like, a kiosk would be disrespectful to this brand. He was like, I got a store for you.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was like, I only had like 3 books. I was like, I'm not ready for a store. He was like, no, well, you gonna get ready because we got a store for you. And that was really, that's how it happened. I was living in LA, and then I had to move back, you know, and take it serious. And that's when Impound became a company. You know, was then. It was just a hobby.
Now, from having the idea of opening a kiosk to being blessed with a whole store,
Yeah.
it had to be like a factor in like I don't know if I can do this.
They gave me a deal that I could do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't. I mean, at that point in my life, I'd have managed people. You know, I had thrown an event that was the Nacho Festival 3 times in a row at Cesar Chavez. We was hitting 5,000-6,000 people a year. So my managing skills of
Yeah, you were there.
yeah, I was ready for it. You know what I mean? I just didn't think inventory wise I was ready for it, and we had to get a little creative.
Okay.
You know, but as far as like the store, it was like once it opens and I see the flow, we'll be all right. Like I wasn't really nervous on that front. You know what I mean? So that was the hardest part was just getting creative on. You know, we got like Nerf balls and we need to get more merch and
All the marketing.
yeah, we only got 3 books. You know what I mean? So
We gotta
we
fill
gotta
the
fill the
space up with
space up with something. Yeah.
Shit.
So that's how that happened. You know, and it was cool. You know, it was cool from the beginning. They supplied me with Doko's PR team. You know, so I was like, I have a on-call publicist. You know what I mean, for local stuff. All the news stations was doing stories and it was rocking. It was in business.
Now, when you opened up, what was like the response to a comic book store opening?
So people were either completely confused or they knew exactly what we were. Cause you'll walk by, you'll see comic books on the wall, but you will be looking at characters. You look at everything, you be like, I don't know what this is. It is a comic book store, but I don't know. Basically, like I don't know who these up in here. And then so people would just be so confused. They walk in, and we was outside with flyers. You know, me and my partner Twine, we were both promoters. So
hitting
we
the flyers,
outside,
real
yeah.
marketing with nothing.
We are SAC's first comic book company. This is Sacramento's first superhero. And being in Doko with that narrative, it was easy because we opened during the King season. So as soon as you tell Kings fans we're SAC's first superhero, it was an easy, you know what I mean, relation. So then the part was expanding from just the narrative of Sacramento.
Okay.
You know, and that was actually probably easier. We had a big social media presence. TikTok is, you know, we almost had 100K on TikTok.
Ooh.
You know, so we just
That's something.
one day at a time. I tell people one book at a time. You
Okay,
know?
so now that you kind of like in full bloom,
Yeah.
is your store just basically your characters that you've created, or do you open up for others?
So I got 2 stores now. So I got a store in Ardent Mall called Antihero. That's for everybody's characters.
Okay.
So we got anime, we got Marvel, DC, toys, and us. We're the first thing you see when you walk in, but there's everything. The Impound store is just us.
Okay.
We might have a few basketball Funko Pops because we buy the Kings Arena or stuff like that, but it's mostly just us.
Now, let's go ahead and get into this because I've been dying to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
You have the character Impound,
Yeah.
and there's other characters that go with that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start with one. Impound itself. How did you come up with the idea, and what is Impound's superpowers?
So Impound, I mean, it was just a collection of, every character is a collection of my favorite types of characters. So I just would take pieces from here, and make a character. You know what I mean? Or some have more original origins, but history, you know, history wasn't a major or minor of mine, but I was always into like ancient Rome. Like my favorite movie still to this day is 300 for ancient Greece.
Movie.
Yeah, you know, Egyptians, all that. So I was already into that. So there would be parts of history I take, but the name Impound, it was just a name I landed on. It meant nothing. When I found that word, when I like seen it on Google, I said that's his name. I just said it out loud, and I was like, that's tight. And then I built the story around the name. So I thought the name first.
Okay, so what was your, if you thought the name first, what was the thoughts that created Impound to ring in your head?
I just was synonyms, and I just kept typing in a word, and then one word just
Google is
eventually
magic.
led me to Impound. I don't even know.
Google is the shit for that. Shout
Yeah.
out to Google for the shit.
Yeah, I don't know how I got to Impound, but clicking through words, eventually Impound was a suggested word, and I just took it. Then the first thing I did after that was Google Impound comics, Impound comic characters. There was nothing. So then I was like, cool, because it's hard to get a name that isn't already a name.
Right.
It's something. And then I made him an MMA fighter. that kind of just came from Uriah Faber or like Cody No Love. Like,
Okay.
SAC has a MMA culture that's
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
and underappreciated, though, in my mind.
Definitely.
So, and I thought that was kind of different. I never heard of an MMA fighting superhero at that time. So I went with that. And then his suit, I specifically told the illustrator I want him to look like if Cyclops met Spawn. And so that was what the suit ended up being. Excuse me, Iron Man, Cyclops, and
Okay.
Spawn.
Okay.
And then I was like, his name has to be something. Impound became his fighter name, like Rampage Jackson.
Okay.
So the Impound is actually his narrative before he's the hero.
Okay.
And then I was like, maybe I'll just make him a tow truck driver. And then that's what he is. So then
Original.
Yeah, and then I made the character that his name became Impound. People were saying that to him, trying to be funny. Like that, like the MMA fighters would be like, Impound, because he's a tow truck driver. And then his daughter started thinking it was tight, and then that made his actual identity. So it was a while though,
So you started with 3.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at now?
We got 12 books,
12
and
books.
then we try to release one monthly. I would say we definitely release one every month and a half,
Okay.
but something is gonna come out every month because you got to keep people coming back, returning, and stuff like that. So we don't have 12 Impound books though. We have 12 comic books in our world. Impound is only up to 4 next month.
Okay.
But then I have another character named Seraph. There's 3 of him. I got 2 books of Decimus, Lady Monarch, and Alina. And there's a group called the Entities. So it's 12 books in total about different people with different stories that don't even know each other, that they'll eventually cross into each other. So that's why I say
Kinda
that.
dope, bro.
Yeah, thank you. But that's why I say it's like the universe, because some of these characters are not even on Earth, but they will eventually cross paths.
So eventually you're gonna create your super friends.
The Avengers or the Justice League, Super Friends. That's
Okay.
what we're building to.
Now, when you said earlier, you told the illustrator this is what you wanted. Now, I thought, being naive in this situation, I thought you were sitting at home drawing and doing all that.
Most people think that, but the reality is most comic creators aren't illustrators. Only a very few can write and draw. That's 2 different worlds. So it's like that's like being the rapper and the producer.
Got it.
It exists, you know what I mean? There's
It's
lots of
hard
people
to
who
find.
do it, but it's hard.
Yeah.
All the creators, 85% of the creators I know do not know how to draw. They're just writers. And then they get illustrators.
Okay. That's game. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's very rare that they do both.
Now, maybe I'm just feeling the air, but for you to take characters
Yeah.
in Impound, being a tow truck driver / super MMA fighter, you're basing all this in Sacramento.
So, yes and no. So
Yes and
no,
no.
like I was saying too. There's characters not even on Earth. I got a character that's from the Philippines. But Impound is from Sacramento.
We're gonna get back to the Philippines.
Yeah, Impound is from Sacramento, and a couple characters are, but Sacramento is the backdrop of the universe. So Marvel's backdrop is New York. Somehow they're going to end up in New York, but everyone's not from New York.
Right.
So when it's the Avengers type team, it's gonna happen in Sacramento. But everyone's not living in Sacramento or from there at that point, But Impound himself is.
Now, to open up this comic book of Impound,
Yeah.
with the illustrator, is the illustrator from here?
My main illustrator is from the Philippines, and that was how I ended up landing putting a character there.
Okay.
Because it was like I had a character design that I didn't even write on my story. He wasn't supposed to be a character, and when I showed, he was just supposed to be like, the idea of it was, I don't know if you were into the Turtles, but Shredder has the Foot Clan,
Right.
and that was all the ninjas.
Right.
So I had a ninja-looking character that was gonna be like the Foot Clan to my main villain.
Okay.
But then when I showed this illustration, it was like our first viral moment. So then I had to make this character a character and not a one of no name of many. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then but like I said, I already designed him, and I didn't know he didn't have an origin. And then the illustrator who helped me design them lived in the Philippines, and it was just like cool because for one, there's a heavy Filipino population in Sacramento.
Heavy.
Yeah, and then that was also different. It's hard to be different, you know what I mean? So I never heard of a superhero or a villain from the Philippines. Why not? That was really my thinking of it, you know. And then he was able, when he was drawing the Philippines, he was putting actual buildings, actual same stuff I was doing inside.
But that was my question. Like, if I open up an Impound, am I going to see like buildings and
You'll
stuff?
see K Street, you'll see the Tower Bridge, you'll see Old Sac. You know, it's not
kind of clean.
it's not all the way through there, but it is in there. The villains layers just in Old Sac. That's just where I put. That's where the villains meet.
That sounds
You know what I
about
mean?
right.
So yeah. That's where the funk is at.
Well, you bullshit. That sounds about
Yeah.
right. 'Cause
Bro,
it is going down in Old Sac a few times.
I done put crazy Easter eggs. People don't even know what they're looking at. I put a picture of an Impound 2. There's a part where Impound's driving downtown looking for the villain that he's chasing after, and he looks to his left.
Shit, it's crazy.
Yeah, he looked to his left, and he sees Kicks Unlimited getting looted. Like, cause I was writing it in the middle of the pandemic.
But
So
that's a little too. That's a little too real, bro. You
that's
might
what
be
he
telling
said.
on yourself.
Yeah, he see it though. I was in LA when it happened,
Shit
but
was
it's an actual picture on Google though. So it's like, you type Sacramento's riots,
Mhm.
and I saw a picture of him running out the shop with shoes in their hand, and it's the same image, but I put Impound driving by looking at it though. But like no one really knows that, but unless I told him. Yeah, I was like, this is hard. Because he had his mask on and everything like that. He had his mask on because he was trying to not to be noticed. But he had like not a COVID mask, but he had like a thing around his face, like ties up. So I was like, that's kind of clean.
Okay. now I'm gonna get mad because you didn't bring comics in here, bro. Because I'm definitely coming through the shop now because I gotta see all this.
I left. I had it on the counter. I left here store, and I was supposed to grab it. I just left it on the counter. I got like the posters.
I got it recorded. You said you was gonna bring stuff. Now
Yeah.
I can come and get it.
I forgot. I'm gonna take some to Mike's shop too and just put them on there.
Shout out to Famous Face.
Yeah.
Love
I told
Mike.
him that yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna just bring it because he was throwing away the magazines. I was like, I'm gonna bring some of the books and just have them be open reads when people see.
Man, them books gonna disappear so they don't.
I know somebody gonna snatch
You
one.
have to chain them motherfuckers down up in there, bro.
But I was like, that'd be clean. So you know, the barbershop, that's just the reading in the
Bro,
shop.
let me put it to you this way. Mike put candy in the bowl beginning of the week.
Yeah.
I went to the shop to get a lineup yesterday.
Yeah, it was gone.
Bowl was an echo. And I was like, damn. But I'm definitely gonna slide through shop. Now I saw on I forgot what I was watching. Was it old or is it new? Did you move upstairs?
Yeah, that's
Rodolfo?
new. We just did that last week.
Okay, so who did that crazy ass mural downstairs that you're having to fucking leave?
I had to leave. That was the only part I didn't like. That was the only part that I was mad
Man,
about.
I'd have been cutting that
Yeah.
wall down.
I looked at it, tried to figure out how I could do it.
I would have. Yeah, I'd have cut
It wasn't
around
a layer. You know, it was almost straight on concrete. So it was just like there was no. I didn't know how to get it off. Like I sat there and looked at it.
I'm
Yeah.
taking this.
But that was my cousin Brandon. So that's actually this brand Alexander.
Okay.
But he
Shout out to Brandon.
yeah, Brandon Alexander is his artist name and his clothing line. But he painted it for me. And when I was moving in, that was when I gave him that call. I was like, hey, you know everybody get that one paper. I've been waiting, holding on to mine for a long time.
We cashing in
But here
today.
it is.
We cashing it in today. Come to
And
the
then
shop and bring all the colors.
So I've been asking them to move to the inside, and then they ended up selling all those units. They're making one big shop.
Okay.
So they're knocking down all the walls and making it something big over there. And then so I've been wanting to move though because I wanted to be by the movie theaters and by Macy's because I was more of the shopping center.
Okay.
I was like on an island kind of. Like
So
I
you're
was
in the big circle.
Yeah. Now it's way better. It's been like it's not even close traffic wise. You can't not miss us. You know what I mean?
You're upstairs, correct?
Upstairs, so you come up the escalator, we're just on the left. Why we come up?
You're
walk
over
like
by.
Polanco and Rare Tea.
I'm going back in the day because that would have been Foot Locker, wouldn't
I don't know if it was. Oh, you mean like back in K Street
it?
Mall?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Possibly.
Okay.
Only thing I remember in K Street Mall was like the court with the movie.
Where are
theater.
you to Johnny Rockets?
So I'm trying to picture
Upstairs
it.
Macy's,
Because the movie theater would have been straight.
right?
So I'd have been to the right. If you walked out the movie theater, I'd have been that way. So I would have been on top of the candy, the Sweet Factory. You know that
Right,
candy store that was
yeah.
downstairs?
Yeah, we used
I was
to
on
beat
top
that
of that.
candy store.
Yeah. I would be on top of that.
'Cause we were
Macy's is my neighbor. Macy's is still in the same spot.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah.
I know where to come get my stuff that you forgot.
Yeah, no.
But,
Macy's, yeah, that's my neighbors though.
Now, you mentioned that with managing and controlling and promoting, that kind of gave you an edge running the store. Now, when you did management for artists,
Mm-hmm.
now we all know, now we know you were doing Darion.
Mm-hmm.
What other artists were you helping to manage?
So I'm trying to think of the first person I managed was a model, and then I tried that for a while, but I didn't have the patience for the modeling chaos. And then after that, the first artist that I managed was Darion
Okay.
and Trey. I was managing them both at the same time.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah, and then I didn't really want to be a manager. I felt like at that time, I think it was just management made sense. You know what I mean? It was something I could do because I was a promoter. And so, you know, we were doing our thing and stuff like that, but I just think I wasn't into it as much as I should be.
Okay.
You know, so, and those are still my brothers, you know what I mean? But it's just, I'm not giving y'all everything. And I can't.
Trying to be fair to them. Like
Yeah. And then I backed off managing completely and just went back to promoting. And then I worked at Fox 40 for like 5 years when I was promoting. Yeah, so that's where I was at. That's where I took my film degree.
Okay.
That's why when I was saying I was writing movie scripts, I majored in film. So I was at Fox 40.
The plot thickens. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think of who. I'm tripping. There was someone in between, but eventually when I found success in managing, I still manage Yelly, who is a R&B singer.
Right.
And then,
Yelly's been here before. Shout out to Yelly. Dope. She just did a song with who did I just talked to that person?
I just did a song with her.
Just did a song with her.
Yeah.
And they did it in Cali Streets.
Yeah.
Cali
That's right.
Streets did it. He was here.
They
last
shot a
week.
video to it too.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
actually they were texting me about it earlier on when they're gonna release. And then I was managing her, and then I was managing Marmaroso, and he's also an R&B singer from South.
Okay.
Yeah, and then me and him was living in LA, we were living together, roommates, because I moved them out there basically. So well, Yelly was still in SAC. She's out there now, but I moved Marmar out there because his career was starting to bubble. So it was just time to make that move.
Okay.
And then I was co-managing him with Davo.
Now, that's a name. Everybody kept telling me when I was running the station, you gotta talk to Davo, Shadow, you gotta talk to Davo.
Yeah.
I was like, the only Davo I know is a little crazy white dude on MTV getting hit in the balls and all the dumb shit. I don't want to talk to nobody like that.
Yeah.
And when I was saying it, Davo was standing next to me. And I was like, my partner was like, you do know that's Davo. I don't care he's standing next to me, because then I had to be who I was.
Yeah.
I don't care. Turned around, shook his hand, and Davo is solid as fuck. I got love for Davo for real. Like, that motherfucker's making noise. Now, for you to be connected with him and in the music thing,
Yeah.
what did you take from that to put into your comic business? Because
So
music and comic book, movies,
Yeah.
like, you kind of in the same realm, but you in different universes kind of situation?
It's different worlds, but the same program. You know what I mean? So
Because I've done management, doing management now.
Yeah.
In management, first of all, you have to have an artist with shit that you have to manage.
yeah,
All artists, here's the note. If you are an artist, and because you think it's cool to say you have a manager, please have some business to fucking manage.
Yeah.
Don't call the homie, your little brother, little sister, cousin, whatever, to be named manager. Have some shit to manage. That shit is a headache.
yeah,
Motherfuckers want to. promoting. Motherfuckers want to make promoting fun.
Yeah.
That shit is not fun.
Yeah.
It is real work, and at the
It can
at
get
the- at
fun
the
when you
night,
get established and it's moving, but getting established is the
that
hardest.
is work.
Yeah.
I'd have done concerts where I've been looking at the door an
You know,
hour before, and
I-
the stomach hurt. And the
I hate
whole,
concerts. Like
Oh.
I tell people to this day, I've thrown a lot of concerts. Ace of Spades, Harlow's, like Boardwalk. I've thrown a lot of concerts. The only concert I ever made money on were the ones where I was managing the artist. And that's just because
You
we
get
would
your
split it,
cut.
and I didn't have to do this big up front. We was gonna make what we make.
Shit is
But
work.
like when you have the venue cost to the artist cost, that margin is so small, and that only happens if everything goes 100% right, and it never does.
Never,
Never does.
ever.
Never does, bro.
And
I
anybody
hate
who says that
concerts.
it does, you a damn lie.
You could be at capacity and breaking even.
Literally.
Yeah. Or you spend 10,000 to make 11,
And
and it's like that wasn't even worth
it
the
really
risk.
wasn't a headache. I didn't
Spent
sleep
3 months
all.
to make $1,000.
Yeah.
I just feel good that I got the money back, so it comes back at one time, so it feels better.
Now with that, let's go ahead and take that idea. For you to come back from LA,
Yeah.
the entertainment, one of the entertainment capitals,
Yeah.
to Sacramento, to open a new business, like, your confidence level had to be high, because I
Yeah.
don't think I would have left LA.
It was just going to, it was Delco though. You know what
Yeah,
I
but
mean? Like it was like,
It
wasn't-
You won't even get into that because that shit irritates me. We built a whole arena, and the one thing they were trying to sell us on was it's gonna be part of the skyline.
yeah.
You can't even see the Golden One
Yeah, nah, yeah. You got
in
that
the
wrong.
skyline.
Nah, it's not impossible. Nah,
And
you
if-
can see it if you're flying over.
If you ain't got some good seats,
Yeah.
you may not want to be
Yeah, nah.
inside the Golden One because you like this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the
I'm
top is
cool.
scary. I feel
I'm
like you're
cool.
gonna fall down.
Literally, like if you sneeze too hard, you are a domino effect down.
Yeah, for sure. But no, it was more of the. I was coming back with I felt like the whole city was rallying behind it. Like every news station did a story on it, and they still do. That news stations interview me frequently. You know what I mean? Like it's a part of like the culture of Sacramento. You know what I mean? Like every time I do a release, you know, every time it's a big thing. Like anything I pitch to the news, almost somebody picks it up, just because of it's more of a cultural impact. And then
It
it
is
was like
different.
we were like damn near the only black business in Doco. You know what I mean? It was
Damn near.
it was
You
mine.
are the only white person in Dothan, bro.
Yeah, but it was just mine. It was more to it. It was bigger than just the comic book company. It felt like, you know what I'm saying? It
Now,
was,
that's my next question.
and it really like we got a whole culture into something that they weren't into.
Yeah, because as a little dude running around, I had a few comic books. It wasn't a whole lot of comic books in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
Growing up, seeing kids with comic books,
yeah,
nerd.
yeah.
You wasn't shit cool about being a person
Yeah.
who liked comic books. Now, when you start getting a little older, start figuring out these comic books is worth dollars.
Yeah,
Okay, you get a little interested if you find the right one.
yeah,
But for you to come back from LA, open up in Doco, being one of the only black entrepreneur store in there, was it ever like in your head where you presented like, I gotta really make this pop because I'm a black store owner, I'm
Yeah.
coming up with a black character,
mm-hmm.
and not even just black, you got the Filipino character, I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody else is different, but other ethnicities being superheroes, like,
Yeah.
did you ever feel like it was pressure on you to kind of like keep that going, or?
Like minority base.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a certain level of like, it's almost to me like, I've seen other black creators, and they almost wouldn't even have minority characters.
Right.
I would say, yeah, there's a certain level of responsibility to that. You know what I mean? Um, but my books are diverse too. You know what I mean? But like the face of my universe are black faces, and then but it was a time for that though. I think we launched at a time that made sense. You know, where that's a bigger
Legacy saying what's up.
what's up Vegas, but we launched at a time that made sense too, where that was a big thing to be a minority black character. It's popular now.
Now you had mentioned that you had seen Black Panther and there was another movie you had mentioned. I can't remember that, but did you kind of like take that on? Like, okay, if this is happening with Black Panther,
Yeah.
let me go ahead and get on to this and see if this pops because of the whole movie. Because Cats was wearing dashikis.
Yeah, it was going crazy.
It was African print. I
was
walked in there, I was like,
bald-headed, spear in
what
the
the
hand.
hell? That's the only thing that was missing was somebody walking around with a spear. And I was like, man, Shaka Zulu is in here watching the movie tonight. This is great. I thought I was going to see loincloths.
Yeah.
Lions was going to walk around with popcorn on their back. But it was crazy.
And well, see, what's crazy was for me. I always tell people too. I loved the movie and all that too. That movie was dope. It wasn't Black Panther that was necessarily the inspiration. It was it was like Ryan Coogler, who is from Oakland, but he went to Sac State, and he's the director of Black Panther. So that's crazy. He was a senior when I was a freshman. So we were both in the film program.
Okay.
So it was more as being inspired by the people behind the creation of this monumental thing. You know, Mozzie's music was in that movie. Like there was a lot of Sacramento influence in the biggest solo movie, like hero ever, and that's really what was the inspiration of it. You know what I mean? If they would have made a different movie, that movie still would have been my inspiration. If it would have been Meteor Man and they were all did Meteor Man, that's what would have made me do it. It was more the pieces to what created this. You know what I'm saying? Versus more the character.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now, with him being as busy as he is, did he ever reach back to you?
I don't know Ryan. So
Okay.
we were both in the same program, but like I said, we weren't in the same classes.
Okay.
Like I remember seeing him, and we're connected to a lot of the same people. You know what I mean? So my partner Dre, we shot like a movie trailer, like just a trailer, trying to show as a proof of concept. My partner Dre was Impound in the trailer, and he was in Ryan's first movie.
Okay.
So it's always been that like
There's a connection somewhere.
yeah, you know what I mean, and I think it eventually will happen because Deion Taylor reached out to me. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Dion.
Yeah,
I've known
so-
Dion for years.
Yeah, so it's like it's bubbling in that space.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's still just work that needs to be done. You know, when we're talking now, Ryan, he's probably the hottest director on the planet right now. So,
Facts.
you know, he got stuff that he got going, but I would say the dream, the goal of it will be for him to direct an Impound movie eventually.
Now.
That would be hard, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Shit, I get to say I knew you back when you were just doing comic books. But will you create a script for the movie, or will you be taking parts from the comic book to put into the movie?
Say that one more time.
So, let's go. Music videos
Yeah.
these days. They could be rapping about something, but the music video has nothing to do about what the fuck they talking about.
Yeah.
Which is the dumbest shit in the world to me, and I said it and I'm standing on business.
Yeah.
Will you be taking your comic book
And adapting it to a
and
movie?
adapting it to
Yeah,
a movie?
absolutely. But it's, you know, it's gonna feel a little different. You know, I think Impound in the books is more kind of like looks like clean cut MMA's, and then if I did it in a movie, it would be more like a superhero, like almost like a hood story. He'd be a little grimier, a little
so
rougher.
like what was that on Netflix for a while? Black dude, bald.
We talking about Luke Cage?
Yes.
Yeah, it would probably be, but yeah, even Impound the character though would be a little rougher. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He'd have a little more like grit to him in the comic book adaptation, but yeah, it would be the same story. I would do it different, so everything that happens, it would happen a different way, just because I don't want it to be exactly the same.
Right,
but
right.
I did that. We got a cartoon now, like an 8-minute cartoon on our YouTube, and what happens to him is different than in the books.
Okay.
It happened to the same people, but it happened a different way.
Now, are you always in the store working, or?
I'm in the store often, yeah.
Now, have you ever seen somebody who was in your store enjoying it, and you go out and you see them later and they still talking about it, they're wearing something from the store, or
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Do you kind of like take that as like, I'm really doing that?
Yeah.
I'm really doing something.
The time, it was the craziest moment like that for me was on St. Patrick's Day, because it was coming up, and I didn't know if it was weird to promote St. Patrick's Day. I enjoy St. Patrick's Day, a lot of people do, but there was also kind of like that, like the kind of like history of like, oh, this person may have been racist. You know what I mean? There's that narrative too. So I didn't know if it was weird as a black-owned business to be promoting St. Patrick's Day. I didn't know. So I just decided not to, because I didn't want like the internet to try to make it something it wasn't.
Okay.
So, but I wanted to because it was green, and our colors is green, it makes sense. But on St. Patrick's Day in Doko, all the minority people showed up in their green was in Impound merch. So that was tight. Because then I was like, that made me feel like next year I'm promoting it. I knew I should have did it.
Yeah.
And now it became like a thing like, this is how we promote St. Patrick's Day. Our green is going to be the Impound's version.
Black Irish.
Yeah, exactly.
I get
Exactly.
it. I get it.
So that was dope. So that was probably one of the moments where I was like, damn, that's clean. And I went out to the club, it's still the same thing. Like, I was just seeing people got their green. It's an Impound hoodie, Impound t-shirt. We got a Sacktown Hero brand, and that's green. They had that on. I was just seeing it all day. I was like, that's tight.
That kind of.
That was all the green they had. That was the only green they had. It was like, this is the green.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
so this
crazy.
year running around St. Patty's, where your Impound gear for St. Patrick's Day is the narrative.
Now, are you gonna pass out Impound masks for Halloween?
I don't know. I don't have a way to mass distribute that yet.
Okay.
So some stuff I just can't get it done yet financially, or the demand, because it's like stuff like that. I have to order so many, and it costs so much to get the first.
Especially these days.
Yeah, so action figures and stuff like that, we started just 3D printing them ourselves.
You have action figures.
We got 3D printed statues, so they're more like these. So they're not like movable joints and stuff like that, but we do got them. Yeah. And then, but we had to start making
Write
them.
down a reminder to get my action figures when I come in and get my. All right, cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we got 3D printed figures.
I still got my Star Wars action figures, bro.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me.
Yeah. But like to mass produce those, it costs like $20,000 just to get the mold, and then you have to order 1,000 minimum. And then once you sell those 1,000, you took a loss because of the mold design. So it's like, until I'm selling these in a quantity, you know what I mean, 100,000 a year type stuff, it doesn't make sense to do it.
Now, do you have those?
And that's the same with costumes.
Do you have those customers that are constantly trying to contact you to see when the next one's going to drop, and they own everything? Do you have that, like those, like
we
real
got
serious?
Yeah, we got diehards. We got people who are there the day of a new book. We throw outside. I still throw events. I still use that tool. I don't throw clubs. We throw a comic convention 3 times a year. I throw live music and art shows, because it's still like the black art. Bring that in. So I have people who come to anything that we're doing because we're doing it. And there's groups of people that show up. Couple different groups. They'll buy it, go outside, read it, and come back in and talk to me about it. You know what I mean? So we have that too. But like kids now, like especially with TikTok, it's like kid fanatics. You know what I mean? Like I'll be on Art Mall, and a 6-year-old just start pointing at me, and then the mom just be like, "What?" I'm like, "You probably follow my TikTok." And he was like, "That's Impound."
Wow.
So
you getting recognized by you have made it when you got little kids
Yeah.
tapping mom on the hip.
Well,
That's
I'm a
Impound.
There's a big convention in SAC called SAC Anime, and it's like we're just like, we'll have a line. You know what I mean? Now, the first time it was just me explaining, but now it's people show up in Impound stuff. At our convention, a woman was a female version of Impound as her costume.
Okay, now SAC Anime, that
Sac anime is the craziest.
You can forget it. You're gonna see every kind of character there is walking downtown. It shuts down the city.
Shuts the city
Now,
down.
when you say you throw your own comic book convention,
Yeah.
is it something in that size we're looking at?
No
or-
way. No, we've only done 2. You know, Sac anime, 40,000 people.
Yeah,
Easy.
They take over
That's the
that
goal, but absolutely not. We get like 1,000 people though.
Okay, that ain't
Yeah,
that ain't nothing.
but we ain't Sac
little.
anime. They're
Yeah,
getting.
Sac anime fly people.
They got
They
Goku.
had cats flying into France.
Yeah, exactly. That's a world, like that's a tourist attraction.
Yeah, but you can't.
That's the
it's
goal.
It's not many clubs
Yeah,
with major artists coming,
Yeah.
packing 1,000 people in it.
yeah.
So
No,
for
that's
you-
what I'm saying.
For you to be
And we
I
still
don't want to say small. For you to be a entrepreneur, young cat running a comic book store and saying you gonna do something comic book wise
Yeah.
and get 1,000 people.
Yeah. And we still.
Nigga, if you don't
we still
pat
have-
yourself on the
No, I'm
back,
with that.
God damn it!
But you were just asking was it like Sac anime. I was
Okay,
like, no. That's the goal though.
Let
It
me
will
go ahead and
be.
explain this.
It
'cause
will be.
Apparently, Trayce has got his professionalism going. This is
Yeah.
hype radio, bro. We can talk that shit.
It will be though.
God damn it, you doing some shit, bro. You got 1,000 people showing up to read your comic book
Yeah.
around your store that you came up with the idea. God damn it,
Yeah. It's tight.
this
It's
shit is
like-
crazy.
Yeah, it's tight, and it's like everything now is just a marketing tool for the character.
Nigga, I wouldn't be wearing nothing that didn't have Impound on. I'd have Impound
Nah, but
drawers,
see,
socks,
After a while,
wave brushes.
I wear Impound a lot.
I would be bringing
But after
in
a while,
cakes to Mike to wrap around his clients to cut their hair. It'd be
I wear my
Impound
gear.
rugs,
I wear
nigga.
my gear a lot, but after a while, I'm tired of
It'd be
looking at it.
Impound Q-tips out there. oh, God
After a while, I'd
damn.
be like, I'm not wearing an Impound hoodie today. I was like, I'm sorry.
Shit. I'd be out there Impound trying to sell that hoodie off my back. Here you go. Here you go, kid. Get that to your mama.
Well, the thing is too, because the thing is what I realize in our brand is also a part of the brand is me. In a sense, I wasn't doing that in the beginning. I was just behind the scenes. A lot of people who started reading Impound, unless you knew me, they had no idea it was me. Like our Instagram, all that, and then I just kind of became more the face of it as well. And what that did was I don't look like a comic book creator to people for the most part. You know what I mean? So I think that
The cat was sitting in
that
the
put
chair
the
before I get
urban.
my hair.
Yeah, exactly. So that gave us a different like swag. You know what I mean? It gave us a different like appeal to different types of people. Where you know it was. I realized I need to be like hand in hand with the character versus just behind it. And then our TikTok started going when I was putting myself, and then I just started explaining stuff. Like, and I'm explaining stuff in depth. I'm saying the meaning of this came from ancient Greece. The meaning of this came from ancient Egypt, and I tied this in with that. And then when I started doing that, that's when it started really catching
That's what made me
traction.
get a TikTok. I
Yeah.
said I didn't want no more social media, nothing.
Well, TikTok is beautiful, bro. There's nothing in the world
Everybody keeps saying that, but I don't want it.
nah. TikTok
Fuck, I don't want
TikTok
another
is-
social media.
TikTok is 10 times better than Instagram. It's not even close. So Instagram is better because it's a better monetized platform. You know what I mean? So you don't really make money on TikTok, but you get your money everywhere else because of TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's the best explanation I've heard.
yeah, TikTok is built for viral. It's built for you to go to the top. You know what I mean? It's not, and it's hard though because you got to figure out your niche. You got to figure out your presentation that works for you. Once you figure it out, you keep throwing that same punch a different way. And so, like I said, the first time I explained something in depth, it went viral, and I just kept explaining everything.
Okay.
And then every time something went up, my online sales went up, my Instagram goes up. Like TikTok shares the wealth. You know, on YouTube, everything started climbing because of TikTok. Versus on Instagram, it's hard to climb, and when it is, Instagram's kind of a hater to other social platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
TikTok's not. TikTok shares everything. You connect your Instagram to your TikTok.
Now, you had said that the little boy that tapped mommy and said that was Impound.
That just happened like a few days ago.
Do you have any females or little girls kind of like
Knowing it?
going
Yeah,
into the
it's
Impound world?
yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean. But it's not as heavy as boys. You know.
Do you
like,
have a female character?
yeah, too. I got Lady Monarch, and Lady Monarch is like a sack monarch like metaphor. And then I got a character named Alina, and Alina's in outer space though. She's like a outer space gladiator.
Okay, so let's run it down. We got Impound, who's the MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Seraph is an assassin, and that's the character from the Philippines. Trayce Jones is the main villain. He would be like he was kind of created in the image of like Ving Rhames on Pulp Fiction, but he got powers though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he's like the black suited up
He
gang
ain't throwing red balls at everybody.
He ain't throwing red balls though.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And then
That's not a superpower.
Yeah, no.
That was kryptonite like a motherfucker.
Yeah. And then I got Ulan, I got Lady Monarch, Alina, Decimus, and Decimus would be like our like Thanos. And then I have a new character I'm about to introduce named Plastic, and he's Stockton's first superhero, so that's what I'm gonna introduce him as. So we're gonna take over. Stockton supports us, you know, but we're gonna take over that narrative over there as well.
So the Impound is where DC and Marvel go to Gotham and everything New York.
Yeah.
You're going to be Northern Cali.
I'm probably gonna be Cali eventually. You know what I mean? Just California in general. Then I want to do one next. My next character is probably gonna be from Oakland.
Now you say Stockton rocks with you. Do you have a store that you put your product out
No,
there?
they just got a lot of comic fans. There's a big convention in Stockton. So there's the Stockton Con, and that's in the Stockton. So Stockton has still the Stockton Kings. You know what I mean? So they're all for the most part still Kings fans.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of Kings merch.
Right.
So even though Impound is Saks versus superhero, they still support them the same way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's still local for them.
Okay.
And that's always been the love Stockton's always kind of showed. And then, like I said, there's Stockton Comic Con, which is the second biggest convention in NorCal, the SAC Anime. So I go to those too, and that's at the Stockton Kings Arena.
Okay.
So we just have a big following in Stockton too. So they would be like, "When you gonna make a Stockton hero?" And then I'm just like, "Let's do it." You know what I mean?
So I'm not even gonna crack those jokes.
Nah.
I'm gonna let that go. 'Cause Stockton go a little wild.
Yeah, Stockton wild.
Yeah.
They need that aspect too.
They do.
Yeah.
So you have the cartoon, the one cartoon on YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
How hard was it to come up with that idea?
The cartoon?
Yeah.
It wasn't like the idea was. It was the same as the book. You get the pacing is a little bit different, but I've been writing movie scripts. I just wrote it like a film script. You know what I mean? That was nothing. The story's already done, so I'm just changing it to fit this realm. You know what I mean? So it's not that hard because I don't have to think of anything other than how does this fit in this space. You know what I mean? It would be different if I was writing a movie from scratch. That would be way harder. But the illustrator in the Philippines taught himself how to animate, and then he sent me a 5-second animation of Impound that he made. He was like, "Does this look good?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "What are you talking?" Yes. I said, "Can we make a cartoon?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's try." And we did it because the animation is expensive. So he rocks with it. You know, I pay him for his time, but he also understands we're trying to do something. He's a part of the journey, even though he's in the Philippines. You know what I mean? Like, so he's a big just part of what we're doing. So he just let me pay him whatever I could pay him, and he just was like, "I'm doing it."
Rocking with
Yeah,
you.
I'm gonna get it done.
Send
Send me some
that.
chicken. Yeah, I'm gonna get this done because illustrate animations, bro. It's like $100 a second. You know what I mean? And that's for entry level. It's expensive. So for him to do like 7 minutes, that's expensive. You know what I mean? I was getting crazy quotes when I was reaching out to animators.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Now, with you being able to write scripts like you do,
Yeah.
are there any like law scripts that aren't Impound out there?
Do I have scripts that's not in the comic world?
Yeah.
Yeah. Impound I already wrote 15, 20 scripts before I even thought of the
Damn.
character. Yeah, I just got them archived.
Let's just say the 15, 20 scripts.
Yeah, I just got them
something I
archived.
did the other day.
I got horror films. I got comedies. I got like 2 hood films. I got first. I'm trying to think what the first script I wrote, but I got one that I'm now adapting into a comic book also, but it has nothing to do with the Impound universe. It's gonna be presented by us, but he's not in that world. It's more about this ancient African society. So it's a real story, but I'm gonna make it a comic book though. And the same reason I couldn't figure out. This was like the dream script. Like one day when I get $100 million budget from Hollywood, I'll make this movie. And then I was like, well, I can still put the story out now. So that's what I'm doing.
So you kind of doing the Lion King thing. We're going to be the cartoon, and then you have Beyonce voicing.
Yeah, later. Yeah, the road. Yeah.
Got it.
But I did it as just, I'm doing it as a comic book right now. And then I still might tie him in as a superhero one day, but it's an actual person. You know, but no one knows who he is. So it's like it's going to be teaching people a story, like an untold story about the time where Africa beat Europe. You know what I mean? Like a time when we conquered, and it wasn't. It's a story that Europe buried. You know what I mean?
So you doing some shit that needs to be done.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's gonna start funk when I finally start promoting it. 'Cause my TikToks is gonna be like, remember that time where Africa conquered Europe? Nope, but let me tell you about it. I'm gonna have all type of things like that ain't never happened.
You gonna have to start calling you Trayce Yay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't go into the Yay world, buddy.
Well, this is different though, because I'm speaking of facts. This isn't really like shaking up the pot, like just for the idea of shaking up the pot. This is a story that we need. The world needs to hear this story.
Now let's go ahead and do that one, because we've been through the whole of Black Lives Matter, and you know, rest in peace George Floyd. And
Yeah.
it seems like all that is gone.
Yeah.
With you doing impound characters of different ethnicities in a city where people can actually identify with it,
Yeah.
do you get support from the cast who used to kind of like be really on the
In
Black
that world?
Lives? Yeah.
So, Stephante Clark messes with us tough.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he shows me love every time he sees me. And he be posting. So yeah, you know, yes and no. I wouldn't say we're super heavy in that space. But it's people who are support. They show us love. They recognize that what we're doing is something that our community needs. We're showing young minorities, black, brown, a different way to be successful that probably people would have never thought of. So it's like I get all types of young people now saying they're writing a book or they're doing this, and you know they reach out to me. I made like a Discord, so I didn't have time to be talking to everybody one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like a Discord, an Impound Comics Discord, and people go in there, and there's just channels where they're like, this is my character, what do you guys think? And now it's just a community, like, I like this, you should do this. And then once every like 2 weeks, I will be in there. I talk in there like tight, but I'll do like a live, and y'all can join my live, and I'll say, this is how you do stuff. What's y'all ideas? Tell me, I'll give you feedback. You know what I mean? And I do like events like that.
Now, with you going to school for this, are you thinking about starting up your own kind of like school dealing with the script writing and moving into the illustration?
Probably not. So I'm doing already. I'm doing next month lectures,
Okay.
but like one-offs. I wouldn't probably do a school though. Like maybe if I did, that'd be so far up the road. You know what I mean? But I'm willing to share knowledge. But it gotta be when I can do it. Like I said, Sac State asked me to teach they're doing like an entrepreneur week or something, like an event. They have different speakers. They asked me to be a speaker. So stuff like that, yeah. But I don't think I want to go as far as like actual, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Controlled lectures
Like
and stuff.
you don't have class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah,
at
I
5 o'clock?
don't think I want to do that. You
Okay,
know.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like people who are in the business, we can kind of figure something out. But I would want it to be more like a guest speaker, a one-off thing.
Okay. So we have the Comic-Con, we have the comic conventions that you do.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a movie type convention? Because with you getting ready to adapt the comic books into a movie.
No, right now I think that's a hard thing to do, because then I would have to find people from all over. There's not too many people in that space.
So you staying real grounded with this. You keeping it real close to the chest with the impound kind of situation.
Yeah, I try to. I don't want to say it's like. I also gotta kind of like just be realistic to where we are with stuff. You know what I mean? I think it would just be hard, you know, like to just do a film and I think it would be kind of like it would fall into like a low budget caliber unless the company was so big
Right.
to get those type of people. You know what I mean? I just think that would be tough. I'm not against it, but it's not something I would be willing to try anytime soon.
So is that kind of like why you're not jumping right into the animation of the comic books?
Well, yeah, for one, the budget, and then for two, is so I just got stories to tell in the books. You know what I mean? Like, realistically, if something was to happen from here to there that I can slingshot forward and just go straight to an animation, cool. But I'm not trying to bite off more than I can chew, or
Okay.
that's already a lot. And I also like there's a process, and I'm still on the process, and it just is what it is. I don't want to try to cut corners and skip steps, and you know what I mean. End up doing the wrong move. I'm not like the thing is with me and Impound is, like I said, writing and all that was something I was doing for free because it was just something I wanted to do. So the fact that it's just a business now, that's enough for now. You know what I mean? The fact that I'm blessed enough to even make money off of it, we're moving like that pace. We're gonna get there the right way.
Okay.
The long way is probably the right way.
Okay, so long term, we'll say decade from now,
Yeah.
where do you see Impound?
Decade from now, I want my movies and stuff. You know what I mean? At least full animated series for sure. I look at that like that's something I'm gonna get in the next 5.
5 years?
Not maybe live action, but like an anime, like a real cartoon,
Okay.
and maybe sooner. You know what I mean? But that's the goal I got for that. You know, I'm like in a space where there's like a space where you like when you have artists in like the music industry where all these labels are showing interest, but they're not spending money yet. That's like where we are with the comic book world, where it's like I have attention from like producers and directors and studios, but I don't think I'm at the spot yet that they're willing to be like, all right, let's get it.
Now,
Here's everything you need, let's do it. I don't think I'm there yet.
you said it with the music, you have the labels looking.
Yeah.
Is there kind of like that kind of build in the comic book world?
Not like that. No. There's not that many people who do this. Like it's kind of like there's really only Marvel, DC, Image, and Dark Horse. Those are the 4 big dogs in comics.
Okay.
And then after that, we're already pretty high up in the indie world. So it's not what's the word? Diluted as the music industry. There's not just labels everywhere and stuff everywhere. So it is like that, but it's not as simple. You're more so hoping. The beauty of it is Marvel is now owned by Disney, and then Warner Brother owns DC Comics, and they do like stuff for HBO. But at the end of the day, every other production company in the world, if you want a superhero, which is the highest grossing thing in the film world today, you have to find someone like me. Because you'll never make another Marvel movie, you'll never make another DC movie. You have to look now at people like me. If you want a superhero, the face of Paramount or all these other ABC, if you want a superhero, it has to be someone like me now.
Okay. Now, I sat up with some cats who literally was arguing about the 2 worlds of DC and Marvel. If you had an opportunity to take Impound, put him in the DC universe or the Marvel universe, which one are you putting him in?
So like really, I don't really want to do either.
Say that
If
to
I
me,
was
yeah.
if I was to, I wouldn't be against it, but they would have to offer me something that's so insane, like more than what I'm worth. And even with that, it would
Trayce about his chicken.
yeah, or I would be more willing to like I want a big company to be a partner with me, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I would rather
completely.
like
You want to
Image.
stay independent.
Yeah, I would rather Image Comics. You become a partner of Impound Comics.
So you trying to be the cash money of comics.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I ain't trying to just sell it off because for one, if he was in Marvel, he's never gonna get a movie. No time, like they, especially DC, He's been promoting the same characters for 100 years. They're just now, right now, finally introducing characters that have been around 60 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, they're going to do Batman, they're going to do Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. They just did Black Adam. You know what I mean? And Black Adam's an old character. Black Panther was an old character.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't see that realistic that they're going to take Impound and just throw them to the front and make them into a movie.
Oh man, put that shit in the universe.
You know what I mean? But it's
do
just,
that.
they already have proof of concepts with their, I just making a Spider-Man movie, we're getting $1 billion. You know what I mean? So that's the harder part.
$1 billion will cover it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
might let you do a little show with $1 billion. But man, all that's great. But I want to say, like I said, I was always hearing about you, but I never knew who you were.
Yeah.
Because for me doing the nightclubs and the promotions and the music and, you know, I do the little product stuff and I kept hearing about this comic book and I was like, okay. And a couple of artists got on here. Legacy was one. That boy IT, what is it called? Boy ITTS, gospel hip hop.
Yeah.
He was talking about you. I'm like, I gotta meet this dude.
Yeah.
Never did I know that this dude was getting the time slot before me getting my
Right.
haircut. But
Right.
I wanna say that it's almost a pride feeling when you got young cats or just people who are hungry enough to create an entrepreneurship, and for you to do something as different as comic books.
Yeah.
Like I never would have imagined. You know, when I think of a comic book store, I think of the television, the little fat dude who still lives with his mom. And, you know, them kind of people rolling up in it. But you've actually made like the comic book cool than a motherfucker. Like you got down to earth characters, and you know the characters you have in space, and then to hear about a Filipino superhero, like never. That's what?
Yeah,
you know,
that
when I
was-
think Filipino superhero, I'm like, so it's a small world because you know everybody just high kind of thing. But you know, for that to even come together, you know, I just want to say congratulations and I applaud you on being the humble person that you're being in this game, and you were definitely playing chess, not checkers with it.
Yeah.
Because when I gave you the question of DC Marvel, you took that answer that I wasn't thinking was going to come out. I was like, okay, he going to choose his favorite one, and you know that kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, you really grounded with this, and I want to say, you know, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Anybody who is out there who is not taking, you know, a little bit of pride of what you're doing and being proud of you in this situation, they're haters. I mean, that's love.
Yeah.
For people who want to get a hold of you and maybe come to the store or check out your TikToks or whatever, can you let them know how to get in contact with you?
So everything is Impound Comics. So all social platforms, IG, TikTok, Twitter, we're on all of them. And then the shop is in Delco. We just changed our address. I don't remember. We just moved upstairs last week.
I just saw the commercial where you
Yeah.
talk about come take a picture with the mural because we're moving. I was
Yeah.
like, damn it, I wanted to
Okay.
slide down there too.
We 414 K Street, Suite 220. I
Okay.
almost said the old one.
Okay.
And then we're also on Arden Mall, which is also Suite 220. I just thought of that.
That's
But
weird.
we're upstairs by J.C. Penney's and Lids. And then
I was just at Liz today.
we were next door, literally.
Shout out Liz.
Well, there's two Lids in Arden Mall though. So
Yeah,
there's the smaller
right,
one.
I just found that out
We're about
too
a
today.
bigger one. So I don't know if you went to that one by
I went
Suite.
to one by Penny's.
That's where we're at. We're the store right before them. Anti-Hero though. Scott
I
called
came
us out.
through Penny's.
If you
So
would,
you
it's the
were around
old
the
Raider
corner.
Image. We're the Raider
The old
Image
Ra-
store. Yeah.
I was right there. Damn it, I could have got my shit.
Yeah, we was in there. And then impoundcomics.com is our website, and all of our stuff is on there too.
Where we go? The video game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on the scan that I seen on the flyers at Mike's?
So the
At the game.
the mobile game is on it's on Apple and Android though. You know, you can just go to the App Store and download it, but that QR code takes us to everything. And then we did that probably like I would say after like the third book, I did the video game.
Okay.
And it was just, bro, I be looking under stones, bro, finding shit. So I'm on, like years ago, I just was like, I want to start a video game company. That's what I was saying. And I was like, I saw there was a company.
You ain't got little dreams, huh?
Yeah, nah. I saw a company on Instagram that what they were doing was they were making 2D simple games, and they had like 1 million followers. And it would just be games you play at the airport, something like Pong style games, but they were making new, different versions. And then when I searched how to try to get that created, I was finding people overseas that would make a video game, and they have games just in their archive, so just hundreds of them. That's just what they do. Like I make comic books, they just make video games, right?
Damn.
And when I started asking, I was like, "How much for this game?" They just send me their catalog. They'd be like $200. I'd be like, "For real?" And then when they said that, I was like, "Oh, I'm about to just buy a bunch of games and just that's what we're gonna do." Start releasing them monthly, weekly, a new 2D game, and we're all under one umbrella. And so I found this dude then. I never went through with it though. It was something I had no passion for. And I think my phone died. It was something I had no passion for, but I found the guy, and then I said, "Hey, bro!" Like 2 years later, when I finally came out with Impound, I was like, "Send me your games again." And then I saw the game, and then I was like, "Just can you change the character of this game to my character and change his villains to these villains?" He was like, "Yeah, I can do that for like $100."
Oh,
I said, "Well,
what?
do that and give me this game."
You got the plug.
Yeah, because he already did the hard part.
Right.
You know, so all he did was reskin it. And then I still bought the game from him though for like $400, and then I got it reskinned for $100, and then so I spent $500 and got a whole mobile game. Yeah.
God damn.
And
Different
then as
levels
we-
and all that shit.
No, it's one. So there's 2 levels, but
Okay.
it's a wave game. So it's not. It's like Call of Duty Zombie, where the game never ends. You just keep every round more show up, and you
Okay.
kill them all, and then more show up. Kill them all, show up. You just try to see as high as you can get, but it doesn't like actually change levels. You just more people come at you at one time.
Okay. Well, that's flyers in my car, so I'm gonna scan it, and I got
Yeah,
something to do
yeah.
when I'm at work and bored to death.
And that's the beauty of the shops is even if you don't buy nothing, just download our game, because we have ads on there, we have in-game purchases. You're still supporting us without actually spending money.
Now, I know I keep trying to say I'm gonna let you go because
That's all good.
You're here for a while. So you have Impound with so many books, and your other characters with so many books. Maybe I'm wrong. You can help me here. In the comic book world, do you guys sell like, you know how they have like disc sets?
Yeah, it's called anthologies. So I haven't sold any yet because my
Anthologies.
series aren't done, or a graphic novel. That's like the term of today. So I have like, I'll do it in like a series of like 4 to 6 books. This is like the end of the season 1, right? And then you put them together. But you sold them, you know what I mean, 1 episode at a time, and then at the end you sell it like the whole season. And you just make it a thicker book, and then that's actually more popular than individual comic books right now. Like people don't really like following 1 book at a time like that, but we're at a stage that you have to. But like as we go, we really just want to sell thick graphic novel books.
Now, are you going to have like crazy price comics like the first ever Superman or the
Yeah,
first?
we already do that. So I had there's this printing company, and every once in a while I'll just get 20 books that are holographic of the same book, and those cost more. Or there was this one, I was testing a print company, and they printed the book wrong, but it was still nice. It still was like they put the comic book, you want the stitch down the middle, right? They put the stitch at the back like a book, where like it was pinched at the end.
Mhm.
So it was wrong, but it was still a book. I sold that one for like $100. Cause I was told the price, I was like, you will never see this again.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah. The first person that saw it bought it. He was like, "This is me. I'm taking this."
Wow.
And that's the culture of that world, is that everything is first edition for us. So you're buying. A lot of people aren't even buying them to read them at all. They're
Okay.
buying them as investments. Hope they believe in what we're doing, and they hope we make them back thousands of dollars one day.
Now, for a person like me to walk into the comic book store, what kind of budget do I need to walk in there?
Well, our books are $10.
It's
Like
$10
a standard book, yeah, it's $10. You know what I mean? So you can, $10 you can get a book. But we just try to throw them curveballs in there and just special stuff. You hold on. I got books that are like misprints. You hold on to those and sell them for a lot later, 'cause that's rare. People like, it's like a Pikachu card with a fire sign on it. It's supposed to be an electric sign, and it's worth like $1 million right now.
What? Parents, watch your kids.
Yeah, people like misprints or like errors. Like, for whatever reason, that raises the value of a book or a car or whatever.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of them.
That's crazy.
Because once you see an error, you fix it. Like, naturally, you're gonna fix it,
Right.
but you still hold on to the ones that messed up.
Okay. Well, I just need to know which store you're gonna be at here pretty soon, so I can slide in.
On the weekend,
I
I'm
can get
usually
my
at the
little
end.
stuff, and then I'll bring my budget, and I'll start dealing. Because, to be honest, I ain't gonna even front. I want a collection of all the books
I appreciate you.
to be able to say that I saw this kind of in the beginning. I'm kind of in the middle now, right now, I guess.
Still the beginning.
And I want to be able to see it and be able to tell people about it.
Yeah.
And I want to see you thrive with it because, like I said, I'd heard about you, but I never knew this much information
Yeah.
about the comic world that I've gotten tonight.
Yeah.
Like that just wasn't my thing, but
Yeah.
based on the simple fact that in a world where we have the young cats wilding, but what we don't have is the OGs talking to the young cats, talking about, young buck, don't do this.
Yeah.
Try it this way. I did this when I was your, in that era, and I was wilding out. But I'm gonna give you the cheat code. I'm gonna give you the cliff notes to get around that shit. We don't have that anymore. So for you to go out and create a black superhero,
Yeah.
and not only just a black superhero, but a different ethnicities, different kind of like. I'm still stuck on the Filipino.
Yeah.
That's fucking me up. But
He's our highest selling hero across the board.
damn, and even to have women involved in, like, you got to be hitting like all positivity from every lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that's so big.
That was the goal, though. You know what I mean? It got to be, because I was even trying to think of like, who is the black female superhero that's like a solo character? Like the most famous is Storm. She was always a secondary character in the
Right.
X-Men. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, I was gonna do it anyway, but I was like, I gotta do that.
Now, I know, goddamn, I keep running over time. Fuck. The movie, The Woman King.
I haven't seen it.
What?
I haven't seen it yet.
I don't think you, just because you in the comic book world, that would have been the shit. You
know,
need to see that movie.
I do. I keep saying I'm going to, and
You
then I
gonna
just
fuck
don't.
around and steal a character.
But you know what's crazy is the reason why I ended up not wanting to see it was all the controversy that came with it. There was a whole, and a lot of people didn't see it unless they were on TikTok, because it was like the TikTok community.
I don't have TikTok, so
Yeah.
you gotta educate me here.
So the Woman King is a fictional character to a real tribe, and that was the tribe that sold slaves.
Right?
So what a lot of people's problem with the movie was, this is black people talking.
Always.
Their problem with this movie is they're trying to show a hero in a tribe that sold slaves until the tribe was destroyed. They never said we're going to stop selling slaves. After slavery, even was stopped in other places, they were still doing it, and they got destroyed. Like other other tribes, and rose up against them and killed the Dasami tribe. And that's how that stopped. So people had a controversy with the fact they tried to make this character be we're gonna stop doing this because this is wrong. They were like, that never happened. Like people in that live in that part of Africa were mad. You know what I mean? It was like that people were, I ain't seen it, and I didn't know any of this until I started looking at what they were
I'm
saying.
learning it right now.
But they were like, bro, the Dasami tribe is the Nazis of Africa. That's what people were saying. That is not nobody we glorify. That is like And so that's what their problem was with the movie.
Damn, I feel bad for seeing it.
I'm still gonna watch it,
I still
but
say
that's
it's a dope-ass
but there was a
movie.
lot of people saying that early when I was there, and I was like, all right, I'm still gonna watch it, but that's what I was seeing. I was a little less excited because of that. I was
Yeah,
like,
I can
dang.
see where it would have dulled it up a little bit. Fuck.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm
well,
sitting like, damn, I actually enjoyed that movie. Like, I need to give to Care or something shit, because fuck, like I really enjoyed the movie. I had a good time. I took my mother to see the motherfucking movie.
Everyone who's seen it
Fuck.
says it was a great movie. I'm not taking anything around, but they were just like, they weren't telling. They were like, man, it was kind of like a, if you're gonna tell the truth, tell the truth. That's what people's problem was. You just made up this woman like she just showed up and saved.
Hey, bro, the movie comes across just like it.
Yeah. And I still haven't seen it. That's just what people were saying.
Wow.
And then when I looked it up, it was a lot of truth to what people were saying. They were just defeated, and that's how that stopped.
Yes, fuck.
Like they were still selling slaves even after Europe and America was done. They were trying to find new people to sell
enjoying my
to.
popcorn with extra butter. I'm excited, and they fighting and and I'm like cheering on the bad guy. God damn it!
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, dang.
Trayce ruined the fucking movie. Fuck! I can't even tell my mama this because we gonna be crying in the living room and shit. God damn!
Like I said, I was like, hey. That's what I just kept seeing. I just was right when I started looking it up, and I was like, dang. There's hella truth to what they saying.
Man, I don't think I would have wanted to see it after I found out the truth too. But fuck, I still gotta stand on business. It was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So everybody says it's rated 90 out of 100. It's 90 something out of 100.
No, never did I know all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, well. All right.
Well, it's nice talking to you.
It was good. Thank you for coming here on high-radio.com. I'm your man Shadow. This is Trayce the GOAT. Make sure you follow him on the gram. Sacramento. I say it with artists, and I'm going to say it here too, because if we support what we have in this city, like we support everything outside of this city, we would be on. We have the same talent, if not greater talent, than what's outside of these boundaries. You have a black entrepreneurial, comic book owning, movie finna be writing, just genius. Because to come up with these stories and then to be able to figure out how to make it come to fruition, ooh, that's that education kicking in. Is nothing but amazing. Thank you for coming on here through your busy schedule, taking the time to sit down here on the platform and talk to the people. Thank you for allowing me to actually get educated in this.
I appreciate you.
If you have anything, seeing how everybody else media is fucking with you, anything you want to talk about any given time, please let me know. We'll clear space for you. We'll bring you on. Talk about whatever, whoever, however. We'll talk about the Woman King fucking up. We can do whatever. You have a key here.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Make sure y'all follow us on the gram. Hype Radio is real. Check out the website, hype-radio.com. This interview, if you weren't here watching this live, it will be on the YouTube. We will be posting it up pretty soon. But make sure that you get down to Doco.
Yeah.
Visit the store, buy a comic. Don't get the 3. I need a 3 or 4X hoodie.
I got you.
You know, don't get that one till I get mine. But I definitely want to come down. I definitely want to, I might have to save a little bit, but I'm going to come and get those comics because I believe, like everybody else is going to believe, that this is going to be collector's items one day.
I appreciate you.
This shit is going to end up in the Smithsonian because that's the way that it's going. So, like I said, anything you want to talk about ever, I'm a phone call. You know I got the connection. I don't see you in Famous Face before I get my cut. We got to start talking on my head too, right?
Yeah.
You can't just keep taking my time. That's my time. But like I said, anything, anytime, bro, we here for you.
I
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much.
You, bro.
Y'all be safe out there.
Tell Rihanna,
Yeah. Oh, man. I done DM somebody. Hope not. I don't need them kind of problems. Yeah, but I kept coming up with questions. I apologize.
Nah, I ain't sure. It's all good.
I was like, fuck, I gotta ask this question. Fuck, I gotta ask that question.
I appreciate
You
you,
got some
dog.
bitches with you? You
Absolutely.
the wall,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. All good. Nigga, you gotta talk.